You have made a grave error in allowing thieves to raid the archives, Constable Sigris.
Forgive me. My guards gave chase as soon as they noticed intruders, but they'd already fled beyond our reach.
What did they take?
Luckily, they were unable to gain entry to where we keep our more sensitive texts. All they were able to make off with was a single book, penned by the late Lady Orlea.
Orlea? She left behind a message of sorts?
She'd bid it be passed on to Lady Frederica when she came of age, but it seems those wishes were forgotten.
Thalos or Erica must have hidden it from her. They derived no greater pleasure than from tormenting her. Do we know what was written in this book?
No. Storage records indicate it was protected by some arcane seal.
It must be of some significance, if she would go to such lengths to protect it from prying eyes. Perhaps something to do with the Rosellan liberation, for which she fought so fiercely. Or perhaps it is not but a mother complaining to her daughter of a duchy they both despise.
I shall send a party to hunt down the thieves at once.
No need. Such ruffians are unlikely to be in the employ of our foe. No doubt they were simply looking to loot us to fill their own purses. It is more important that we dispose of Svarog and finish the Nell with all haste. Dispatch your soldiers there.
Aye, Your Grace.
A whole day of hunting, and this is all I have to show for it. Wanted to give Lord Serenoa something meaty for once.
A deer is no easy prey. You are a skilled hunter.
One deer to your 3 boar? It's plain who the better of us is. I don't reckon you let a single one escape. Could be hunting is your true calling.
Perhaps. Before I was knighted, I was keeper of the Hawk's Roost. And besides, I come from a long line of hunters.
That's so. And what drove you to fight men for a living?
Glenbrook put out a call for hawk riders, that they might challenge Aesfrost's aerial superiority. I answered that call. My training was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but I won a position in the Kingsguard, where I petitioned to serve Prince Roland personally.
Seeing you in action, I'm sure you could have made a fine commander. Yet you stuck by the prince's side.
Yes, I did. Flugy has yet to return. I hope he isn't in danger.
What's this then? A traveler out here all alone, huh? And in sore need of protection by my reckoning. Hand over your coin purse and maybe we can reach an arrangement.
Bandits? Here? How could I be so careless?
I'd advise against running. There's nowhere for you to go.
Enough! Are you hurt?
I'm fine, thanks to you. Had you not showed up when you did, I could have ended up dead. You have my gratitude.
Is that your hawk? It guided me here. I was in the middle of a hunt, but your bird cried out as if calling to me. Thank heavens I did not loose that arrow. I've never known hawks could be so wise.
His name is Flugy. And he's more than my hawk. He's my closest companion.
The bandits are growing more bold by the day. 'Tis best you returned home.
Wait! I have scarce little to give in the way of coin. But still, there must be something I can do to repay you.
Think nothing of it. It is the royal family's duty to protect our subjects.
The royal... Good heavens. You're Prince Roland. Forgive me, Your Highness.
There's no need for all that stuffy formality. May we meet again soon.
Yes, Your Highness. That was my first meeting with the prince. He saved my life, and for that, I shall be forever in his debt. I could settle for no less than the Kingsguard.
Ah, that's the good stuff. Ain't no one can pour a pint like you.
I take coin for drink, not compliments. It's hard enough to keep this place running on my own as it is.
Need me to lend a hand?
Thought you'd never ask. You can start by washing the dishes, then restocking our foodstuffs, fixing up that wobbly table, and...
Aye, leave it to me.
Ha! I'm only playing. I'd never put a paying customer to labor.
But that's an awful lot of work for any one person. Ever give thought to finding someone with whom you might share the burden?
You can stop right there. The last thing I need is anyone else complicating my life.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
I had myself a someone once, you know? Special-like. Till he left me for a specialer someone. Raised my son Theo all by myself after that. He'd be a man grown now, if the war hadn't taken him.
Forgive me, Hasabara. Didn't mean to go drudging up painful memories.
No need for apologies. I don't know anyone who doesn't have a thing or two in their past that haunts them. In truth, I'm more exhausted than anything. Must be the years taking their toll.
Ain't got nothing to do with age, and everything to do with the hardships you've overcome. More impressive than an old soldier drowning his sorrows in mead.
What kind of barkeep am I, letting my poor patron wallow?
Sometimes wallowing's good for the soul. Come on, have a round with me. My treat.
Took you long enough to make the offer. Now, what shall we toast to?
How about to your son?
I, to Theo.
Benedict asked me to scout out Teleorn where the Aesfrosti soldiers are stationed. But I hardly see any around. Why did he ask me to come here in the first place? I doubt it would matter in reclaiming the capital. But orders are orders. I should report back.
Ah, tidings from Erica. She says Hyzante refused our final offer.
You seem surprised. There was no way Hyzante would agree to open the source.
I know that, but the negotiations were meant to buy us time. Yet it seems their soldiers are already on the move. Damn it all! This wasn't supposed to happen.
If you play with fire, you get burned. Now we have no recourse but to meet them in battle without the Archduke.
So it has come to war, then?
We just have to beat them at their own game. Their newest saint is heading the vanguard. You must be delighted that a former retainer to the crown is coming to visit, right, Cordelia?
Enough, Valis. I won't allow such impudence toward the Queen.
Queen? This child is nothing more than a puppet. And I believe the impotent one here is you, Avlora. A general has no right telling the Prime Minister what to do.
I had no idea the Prime Minister's job was to torment the weak.
Enough, General Avlora. I will answer the Prime Minister. As the Queen of Glenbrook, I shall protect my kingdom until my dying breath, no matter who may stand against me.
It appears your impudence is contagious, Avlora. Your charge knows not how powerless she is.
Worry not, Your Majesty. I shall protect you.
Because I am to wed the Archduke?
Because you are a warrior. One who does not give up, even if she must fight her battles alone. I was an orphan. I never knew my parents. I entered the army to make a place for myself. So I know better than anyone the pain of having to do everything on your own.
Allow me to bare my heart to you as well, General Avlora. As the last heir to the throne of Glenbrook, I do not intend to let Gustudolf have his way.
You mean to strike down the Archduke?
But I lack the power to do so. Have you heard of the Royalists? The aristocrats who were aid to my father.
I have. I also heard they secretly indulged in bribes and the like for personal gain. That man Patriot was cozying up to the Archduke not seconds after King Regna's beheading. Their kind knows no loyalty.
Indeed. But Gustudolf has not given any of them a position in his court, so they have fallen on hard times. I want to ask Patriot and the other royalists for their help.
Are you mad? No doubt they would wholeheartedly embrace you as their symbol, but only for their own purposes.
I understand that. But their years in service to the crown have earned them great influence in politics. I must have their support if I'm to reclaim Glenbrook.
Is it possible for you to rein them in?
Not alone. But with you, General Avlora, I can. They lack military might. If you accompany me, I could sway them to my cause. Please, General, lend me your strength.
As an Aesfrosti general, I simply cannot turn a deaf ear to what you have told me. Did you not think I would tell the Archduke of your plans?
Of course I did. But I refuse to stand idly by as a mere decoration. So if it meant earning your trust, I was willing to show you that I wish to protect Glenbrook by any means necessary.
You took a gamble.
I had to. For it is not status or reward that moves you.
So you bet on my honor, and refusal would sully my name forever. However, safeguarding the kingdom comes first. Fighting at your side will have to wait.
General of Laura.
A word of advice, Your Majesty. Both Hyzante and the Archduke are veterans of war. The fight will not be an easy one, and may rage on for many years.
Even so, I will not falter. I must do this. For my father and brothers.
An admirable resolve. One which I will see fulfilled. I shall be your sword and shield, my queen.
Thank you, General of Laura.
I apologize, but are you suggesting we destroy the dam around Telior Reservoir to start a flood?
The capital city was built on the banks of the Norzelia River. Breaking the dam surrounding Lake Telior upstream will allow us to submerge a majority of the city. Flooding the town will throw their army into disarray, which should allow us to take the place by storm.
Lake Telior is a man-made reservoir. You might be able to burst through with a blast crystal.
Huette scouted the area earlier and reported seeing very few sentries. Proof enough that this is outside the Archduke's calculations.
No. The damage will be too great. The means would not justify the end, Benedict.
We cannot afford to lose.
I agree with Roland. There is already far too much blood on our hands. Perhaps it's worth speaking with the people and gaining their understanding.
Unless we reclaim Glenbrook, it's unlikely they'll understand or support our actions. We must take the capital back, and show our strength and resolve first.
So that means you stand by Benedict, then?
If we have a sure shot at winning, we need to take it. No matter the consequences. We can't lose the war. We just can't.
Telior Reservoir is the kingdom's water source. The dam was constructed to protect the people from floods. I doubt they would ever forgive us should we choose to destroy it for war.
Glenbrook thrives because of that water, and to use it otherwise is inexcusable. Brute strength isn't the only way to reclaim the city. We can strike at night and defeat their commanding officers. There are ways to slip into the castle unseen.
If you have used it before, there is a chance it has been sealed off since.
There is more than one route. You needn't worry.
So you mean not to use the blast crystal?
No, I do. After we sneak in, we can sink Aesfrost's warship. It would close off their escape route.
Our first priority should be ensuring the people's safety. We cannot allow them to be taken hostage. It would restrict our options as well.
She's got a point. But how would we take the capital back after that?
We could use the blast crystal to destroy the bridge connecting the town and the castle. The enemies would be stuck within the walls.
That would certainly mitigate the damages to the citizens. If we encircle the castle, we could negotiate with them.
We could ask them to yield, free Glenbrook, and re-establish the trade between our nations. I am certain we can find a way to make both parties agree.
Negotiate?
I understand your thoughts and the wishes held therein.
Allow me to ask once more. Shall we shatter the dam around Lake Telior and flood the town? Sneak in under the guise of night, sink their ships, and slay their commanding officers? Or destroy the bridge, safeguard the people, and negotiate with the enemy? Fetch the scales. It is time we decide our path.
my lord.
Yes, sir? Certainly. I must hear what the others think.
Aye, lad. Consider this. Tough spot we're in.
Say. Certainly. A hard choice.
Good point. I have chosen.
Ah, yes?
Serenoa.
It is time to cast our votes. In which strategy do we entrust the future of Glenbrook? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
I believe in you.
On this, I cannot be swayed.
I agree.
I changed my mind.
I'm with you.
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen. The way forward is decided. We collapse the bridge and trap the enemy within the castle, keeping the common folk safe from the worst of the fighting.
You will safeguard the people, drive the enemy into the castle, and negotiate. You have chosen a righteous path, Wolffort. But do you really think negotiations will prevail? Such sympathy may be your downfall.
Even so, this is the path we have chosen.
Then walk tall. It is time to test your mettle. I must return to Hyzante and see Minister Kamsel. Next we meet, you will have both of our armies at your backs.
You have my thanks.
We cannot afford to lose this fight. For Norzelia.
I thought this battle was for Glenbrook.
This is not a simple struggle for power, Minister Serenoa. The goddess, the source, iron? The war of 30 years ago comes back to haunt us because the old cling to relics of the past. Norzelia needs to be born anew. Right now, the people of every nation are searching for a young standard-bearer to guide them.
A standard-bearer?
Yes, people like you and me. This war is a fine opportunity for us to show our worth to Norzelia.
House Wolffort and Hyzante join forces and begin planning Glenbrook's recapture. But with the Norzelia River and the Aesfrosti armies in their way, retaking the capital will be no easy feat. Frederica proposes they destroy the bridge linking the castle to the rest of the capital, isolating the enemy and forcing them to parley. Though it may draw out the conflict, it is well worth it if they can avoid causing suffering to the people. Serenoa and the others agree to the plan. In support of House Wolffort, Hyzante's great army marches forth for the first time since the Saltiron War.
The Hyzantean forces should be arriving any moment, Frederica.
Well then, let us make them welcome.
My lady, are you certain this is the path you desire? We are to battle against your people, against Thalos and Erica.
I am keenly aware of that.
Of course you are. But simply understanding a thing doesn't mean you are ready to face it. A single second's hesitation on the battlefield could cost you your life.
Worry not. I shall prevail against any who stand against me. Even my siblings.
To try and save them?
No. To save myself. And to save House Wolffort.
Minister Serenoa, Minister Camsell, and myself have brought what troops we could muster.
I'm grateful for your assistance.
It was an arduous journey. Is there anywhere the soldiers could rest?
We've prepared barracks at the harbor. Please use them freely.
You do think of everything.
Hyzante has not mobilized a force so large since the Saltiron War. Yet I hear you intend to settle this not by battle, but by parley. The Holy One will not agree to any half-hearted measures.
The pressures of a large army on the capital's threshold is part of our plan. Come inside and I will explain the rest.
General, House Wolffort and Hyzante have joined forces. There are indications their armies intend to march upon the capital.
Which direction will they come from?
We cannot yet be certain.
Close the city gates and rally the garrisons. I want the way to the castle completely blockaded.
And we ought to consider their attack from the river. House Wolffort knows very well how difficult this castle is to take. I doubt they think to capture it with a direct assault.
Indeed. Hyzantean soldiers are used to desert conditions. Doubtful they'd be keen to engage us in a marine battle. Though acting on that assumption and sending all our troops to defend the land route does leave a vulnerability the enemy could exploit. Send a party to scout along the riverbanks, then have them report to the harbor and ready our ship.
Yes, General.
Why beat around the bush? We have the soldiers, we should strike and end them.
It's best to avoid open battle. With the capital and Whiteholm under our control, we have the advantage.
All that tells me is you're frightened of Wolffort.
There is no enemy safe not to fear. A leader's hubris is the death of her soldiers.
Frederica is attacking us. What does it matter how many soldiers die? I command you to kill Frederica, Avlora.
Personal grudges have no place in the battlefield.
Silence! Gustadolf entrusted us with the castle's protection in his absence. Noble Aesfrosti blood flows through our veins. How dare you order us about?
You do well to remember what you are, Avlora. A simple orphan who doesn't even know her true name.
Yet it is this simple orphan in charge of our army. Insult me all you like. I will not allow open battle.
No matter. The reinforcements our brother sent are under our command.
I shall lead soldiers into the capital myself and crush Wolffort's forces when they arrive.
Is this the Aesfrost I am to defend?
General Avlora.
My spies have ascertained the situation at the capital. The bulk of the enemy is holed up in Whiteholm Castle. Right now, they don't seem to be very active.
And what of the common folk?
Their daily lives progress apace. It seems the enemy has yet to notice our movements.
Perfect conditions to execute Lady Frederica's plan. If the people are at ease, we should be able to seize the capital without resorting to all-out battle.
Thank goodness.
Then let's review the plan. First, my retinue shall take a small vessel to Whiteholm Castle and destroy the bridge.
Are you certain you want to go by yourselves? We could lend you some soldiers.
The fewer of us there are, the less likely we are to be spotted. We'll manage. We'll have the blast crystal.
Oh yes, a bridge like that'll come falling down pretty easy. You'll see.
The explosion will be your signal to march into the capital and keep the people calm.
Without using force, yes. I shall impress upon my soldiers they are not to act rashly.
Thank you, Minister.
As for you, Minister Campsell, we'd like you to take command of the naval forces to blockade the castle.
Very well. I can't say I'm much experienced in marine warfare, but I'll do my best.
Destroy the bridge, capture the town, blockade the river, isolate the enemy in the castle, and turn that impregnable fortress into their prison.
Once they're trapped, they'll have no choice but to parley with us and release their stranglehold on Glenbrook.
I hope you're right. A word of caution before we begin. Prince Roland, you are aware they will likely use Queen Cordelia as leverage when the time for parley comes? But no matter what pressure they apply, we cannot allow them to break us, should the worst come to pass.
I understand. I do not expect the fight to regain control of our kingdom to be painless.
Good. We have our plan. Now we must act upon it.
Then we shall depart at once, until we meet again in the capital.
Farewell, and good luck to us all.
Erica, Thalis. I cannot put off fighting them any longer.
My, you're certainly calm for someone about to be sold off in the morrow.
Sold off? You would compare my marriage into House Wolffort to trading coin for flesh. Why I am to be a beacon of allyship, a bridge between our two lands.
Yes, yes. So tell me, dear, how do you plan on seducing the Wolffort boy? Wait, let me guess. You'll use the same charms your mother did on our father.
Oh, enough cajoling, Erica. You're apt to make her cry. And Frederica, you know you don't have to take such abuse in silence, don't you? In any case, you seem to be under the impression that you've been entrusted with some crucial task. That couldn't be further from the truth. This is only to get you out of the way, same as your mother. You're no use to anyone in Aesfrost.
But you already know that, don't you?
Well, every happiness to you, dear sister.
The world I knew before was so very limited. No matter what awful thing happened to me, I believed I could do nothing but suffer in silence. But staying quiet in the face of injustice is tantamount to condoning it. I needed to stand up and fight for myself. Becoming part of House Wolffort was the best thing to ever happen to me. Erica, Thalis, I'm done running.
In the dead of night, a small ship slips silently into Whiteholm Castle. Aboard are none other than the elite Wolffort fighters, led by Serenoa himself.
All right, it's time.
Where should we set the blast crystal, Milo?
Right around the middle of the bridge would be perfect. The wood will splinter apart quite nicely. Plus, any repairs we'll need to make later will be easy.
In the middle it is. We'll search for a suitable spot. In the meantime, Milo, you ready the blast crystal.
With pleasure. The time for you to awaken is nigh, my patient little Elfric. Just give me the command.
All right, then let's...
Wolffort? When did you get here?
Phallus! Oh, I am so glad we didn't leave this to Avlora. I am shocked, Frederica, to find you sneaking around like a common thief.
Erica. Ah, they've got us surrounded.
Ah, my shop! Someone stop this madness!
Carry on screaming and sniveling! This land is ours now, and we'll do as we please!
You monsters!
Ha! Try me! I'll cut you down where you stand! And just what do you think you're doing?
You disgust me. Be gone from this place.
So, you've chosen death then?
Hold! Lest my eyes deceive me, is that not Sir Flanagan?
And what if I am?
'Tis him! The bloody shield in the flesh!
You're a Black Iron Captain! Damn it all! Run for your life, you fool!
How far they have fallen. They confuse might for morality, and sully the duchy's good name.
Hail, soldier! I cannot thank you enough for coming to my aid.
'Tis instinct. I cannot abide such cruelty. Though I no longer call myself a soldier, it is the only station my skills afford me.
Milord, a man calling himself Flanagan requests an audience. Will you grant it?
Flanagan? The name sounds familiar somehow.
Ah, he fought in the tourney, didn't he? The one they call the Bloody Shield.
The Aesfrosti soldier. What brings him to me? Anyhow, send him in.
My lord.
Been a few moons, Bloody Shield.
And many more since I answered to that name.
Then what brings an Aesfrosti to us this day?
Words cannot bring back your countrymen, but I give them to you anyway. I condemn the duchy's actions with every fiber of my being. Deeply ashamed am I of our Archduke's willingness to shed the blood of innocents. Meager though they may be, you have my sympathies.
So, you came all this way just to apologize? You're a strange one, all right.
I am well aware that words alone mean little. And that is why I offer my service, that my words might ring true.
Why House Wolffort? There are far greater armies that would give anything to have a warrior like you in their ranks.
I have no interest in further bolstering the might of Aesfrost or Hyzante. They trample the weak with no remorse. I will stand for it no longer.
And you think you can stand here and call us weak? You little...
You intrigue me, Sir Flanagan. But what of your title? Is your shield truly stained with blood?
Just a name given to me by men, nothing more.
You can trust he'll hold his own in battle if you take him in. One look is enough to tell you that.
A boon to our cause, then. Provided we ourselves do not become the very thing you despise. House Wolffort welcomes you, Sir Flanagan.
The feeling of intrigue is mutual. I am at your service.
You're two peas in a pod, aren't you?